You've always known, haven't you? Deep down, in the quiet moments when the noise of the world fades and it's just you and your thoughts, there's been a whisper. Not loud, not demanding, but constant. A gentle tug, a hum in the back of your mind that says you're different. You're not like everyone else, no matter how hard you tried to blend in. You felt it when you walked into a crowded room and somehow knew you weren't just another face in the sea of strangers. You felt it when the world told you to settle, to play small, but something inside your chest burned in rebellion. You couldn't explain it, but you knew. You were made for more. And maybe for years you tried to silence it. You tried to fit in, to do what was expected, to follow the rules, to be normal. But the whisper never stopped. It's always been there, like a low drumbeat in your soul. Sometimes it was faint, almost forgotten. Other times it roared, shaking you awake in the middle of the night, filling you with restlessness you couldn't put into words. That whisper wasn't your imagination. It wasn't some fantasy you made up to escape boredom. It was destiny itself. It was God's voice, the universe's reminder that you carry something powerful, something sacred, something eternal. Think about it. How many times have you looked around and thought, there has to be more than this? You saw people chasing after things, money, status, shallow love, that never seemed to satisfy them. And you knew in your gut that wasn't the life for you. You wanted something real, something that set your soul on fire, something that made all the pain, all the struggle, all the confusion worth it. That longing wasn't weakness. It was proof of your calling, because chosen ones are never satisfied with ordinary. Chosen ones ache for purpose, and that ache, that's destiny calling your name. This is why mediocrity feels like poison to you. You've tried to play it safe, but safety never fit right. It felt too small, like trying to wear clothes 3 sizes too tight. Every time you tried to shrink yourself to fit someone else's expectations, your spirit rebelled. Every time you tried to dim your light to keep the peace, you felt the fire inside you suffocate, because your soul was not designed for smallness. You were created to carry light into a world drowning in shadows. And the whisper has been trying to remind you all along. You're not just living for yourself. You're living for something bigger, something higher, something eternal. But here's the thing. Being chosen doesn't always feel glamorous. Most of the time, it feels heavy, it feels lonely. While everyone else seems to be laughing at shallow jokes and satisfied with surface-level living, you're wrestling with questions that go deeper than most people ever dare to think about. You wonder about purpose, about love that lasts beyond time, about why you've walked through storms that would have crushed someone else, and yet here you stand. You've endured pain that left scars on your soul, but those scars glow like embers in the dark, and still, the whisper doesn't let go. It tells you, you are not here by accident. Every choice, every heartbreak, every tear, every victory has been part of your shaping. And maybe you've doubted that. Maybe you've asked, why me? Why does it feel so heavy? Why can't I just be normal? But chosen one, do you really want to be normal? Do you really want to live and die and disappear like you never existed? No. You crave legacy. You crave impact. You crave the kind of love and purpose that echoes through eternity. That craving is the compass pointing you toward your mission. The whisper inside you knows the truth. You were born for battle. Not a battle of fists or swords, but a battle of the soul. A war between faith and fear, love and despair, destiny and distraction. That's why your spirit can't settle. That's why you've always felt like there's more. Because you were built for this fight. You were designed to rise, to carry a light so bright that even darkness itself trembles when you walk into the room. But here's what most people don't see. You've already been fighting. Long before you realized what was happening, you've been in the battle. Every time you chose hope when despair tried to drown you. Every time you kept loving when betrayal tried to harden you. Every time you stood up when life knocked you down. That was war, and you won, because you're still here. You're still breathing. You're still listening to the whisper. And that means the enemy couldn't destroy you. It means destiny is still unfolding, even in this moment. That fire in your chest, the one that doesn't let you settle, that's divine. It's not arrogance, it's not pride, it's the mark of the chosen. It's the reason no matter how many times you've stumbled, you've gotten back up. Because something inside you knows. You weren't created to quit. You weren't created to fade into the background. You were created to shine, to lead, to love in a way that transforms everyone who comes near your light. And maybe right now you feel tired. Maybe the whisper feels faint, buried under the noise of bills, stress, heartbreak, or loneliness. But chosen one, hear this clearly. The whisper never leaves. It only waits. It waits for you to pause long enough to listen. It waits for you to stop numbing yourself with distractions and remember who you are. It waits for the moment you stop doubting your worth and start stepping into your truth. That whisper is your guide. That whisper is your proof. That whisper is your destiny knocking on the door of your soul. So ask yourself, why do you think you're still here after everything you've been through? Why didn't the storm take you out? Why didn't the heartbreak crush you for good? Why didn't the silence break you beyond repair? Because you're chosen. Because the whisper of destiny refuses to let you go. Because there's a light in you that the world needs, even if the world doesn't know it yet. And as you breathe these words in, let the whisper grow louder. Let it burn through the lies that told you you're not enough. Let it drown out the fear that said you should settle. Let it break the chains that tried to keep you small. Because you are not small. You are not ordinary. You are not just another face in the crowd. You are the whisper walking in flesh. You are the spark carrying fire. You are the chosen one. And the time has come to stop doubting what you've always known in your heart. The whisper is destiny calling. And destiny will not stop until you answer. Chosen one. Let's get real for a moment. The truth is, you weren't shaped in comfort. You weren't molded in easy seasons or sunny days. No, your soul was carved in storms. Your strength was born in heartbreak. Your wisdom was forged in sleepless nights, when tears wouldn't stop and answers wouldn't come. Every scar on your spirit carries a story, and those stories are not marks of weakness. They are proof of your becoming. Think back. The moments that broke you open, the betrayals, the losses, the seasons of loneliness, weren't random. They were chisels in the hands of destiny. The universe doesn't waste pain. God doesn't allow storms without purpose. And though it felt cruel at times, though you wondered if you'd ever heal, what was really happening was this. You were being refined by fire. Fire doesn't destroy gold, it purifies it. Fire doesn't ruin diamonds. It reveals their brilliance. And fire hasn't destroyed you. It has made you radiant. You see, most people run from pain. They bury it, numb it, escape it any way they can. But you couldn't. Life didn't give you that option. You were forced to sit in it, to feel it, to walk through it when others would have quit. And in doing so, you developed something rare. Resilience. That resilience is the foundation of your calling. It's what allows you to carry light without it being snuffed out by darkness. It's what makes you trustworthy in the battle between hope and despair. And maybe you've asked yourself, why did I have to go through so much? Maybe you've envied others whose lives looked easier, smoother, lighter. But chosen one, hear this. Easy lives don't make warriors. Easy lives don't shape leaders. Easy lives don't prepare you to stand against shadows. Your storms gave you depth. Your heartbreak gave you empathy. Your sleepless nights gave you vision. That's why people feel safe with you. That's why your presence carries weight. That's why when you speak, something in others shifts. Because you've lived it. You've carried the fire. And you've come out alive. Do you remember the first time you thought, I can't survive this? Maybe it was a relationship that shattered you. A dream that collapsed. A moment when the ground beneath you gave way. You thought it was over. You thought it broke you for good. And yet, look at you now. You survived what once seemed impossible. And that survival didn't just give you another day, it gave you proof. Proof that you're stronger than you knew. Proof that there's something unshakable inside you. Proof that the whisper of destiny wasn't lying when it said you were meant for more. Every heartbreak was training. Every disappointment was a lesson. Every closed door redirected you toward something better. It didn't feel like that at the time. It felt like loss, like rejection, like failure. But now, with distance, you can see glimpses of the pattern. You can see how that relationship that ended cleared space for a love that actually mirrors your soul. You can see how that failure forced you to grow, to sharpen, to rise. You can see how that loneliness taught you to hear the whisper of God more clearly than ever before. Nothing was wasted. Nothing. Chosen one, the storms didn't break you. They revealed you. They revealed the strength you didn't know you had. They revealed the courage you thought you'd lost. They revealed the light that couldn't be extinguished. That's why the enemy tried so hard to take you out, because even in your lowest moments, you were dangerous to the darkness. Even when you felt weak, you were being prepared. Even when you thought you had nothing left, your spirit was being trained for battle. And it wasn't just about survival. The storms gave you gifts: compassion, empathy, understanding. When others are hurting, you don't just sympathize, you feel it. You know what heartbreak tastes like. You know what it's like to lie awake at 3 a.m., wondering if you'll ever heal. That knowledge, that sensitivity, is what makes your light so powerful. Because you don't just shine, you heal. You don't just carry fire, you warm. You don't just survive, you guide others out of the storms they thought would destroy them too. So, the next time you look at your scars, don't hide them. Don't be ashamed. Your scars are sacred. They are proof of your battles, proof of your survival, proof that you were shaped by fire and came out more radiant than before. They're not signs of brokenness, they're signs of destiny. They're the map of how you became who you are. This is why you can't settle for ordinary, because ordinary people weren't shaped the way you were. Ordinary people weren't carved by the same storms. Ordinary people weren't refined by the same fire. You were built differently. You were strengthened differently. You were anointed differently. And while others may crumble when darkness rises, you stand, because your foundation isn't shallow. It's deep. It's been tested. It's been tried. And it's unshakable. That's why God chose you. That's why the universe anointed you. That's why the whisper has never left. Because every heartbreak, every trial, every storm was a rehearsal for the destiny waiting on the other side. You're not just another person who lived through pain. You're proof that light can survive fire. You're proof that love can survive heartbreak. You're proof that purpose can rise out of ashes. And right now, as you read these words, your spirit remembers. It remembers those nights when you begged for the pain to end. And it remembers how it didn't end you. It remembers the mornings when you thought you had nothing left, but somehow you kept going. It remembers the strength that rose up in you when you thought all strength was gone. That memory is important because it's your anchor. When the next storm comes, and storms always come, you won't fear it, you'll recognize it. You'll remember, I've been shaped by fire before, and it only made me brighter. So stand tall, chosen one. Don't despise your scars. Don't regret your storms. Don't curse the fire that tried to burn you, because all of it was preparation. All of it was destiny's training ground. All of it was proof that you were meant to carry a light strong enough to survive the dark. You are not fragile. You are not ordinary. You are not broken beyond repair. You are a vessel shaped by fire, refined by storms, strengthened by heartbreak, and chosen to shine. And the world has no idea how much power is standing inside your skin right now. But it's time they see it. It's time they know. It's time you step fully into the truth. You were shaped by fire, so you could light the world. Chosen one. Let's talk about love. Not the kind you see in movies. Not the kind sung about in fleeting pop songs. Not the shallow kind that starts with butterflies and ends in silence. No, what you carry, what you've been entrusted with, is a love that feels older than your bones. A love that feels written into the fabric of your very soul. A love that defies reason, defies time, defies everything you thought you knew about relationships. You've always known this love was different. From the very first spark, it didn't feel ordinary. It didn't feel casual. It wasn't a passing attraction or a fleeting crush. It hit you like destiny, a tidal wave crashing into the shore of your life, rearranging everything, forcing you to see yourself, your soul, your purpose in a way you never had before. And deep down, you knew, this isn't coincidence. This is cosmic design. Because this love isn't just about romance. It isn't about convenience. It isn't about what makes sense. This love was chosen for you, hand-stitched into your path by the universe itself. It's not just someone you're drawn to. It's someone who mirrors your very soul. They're not just a lover. They're your teacher, your challenger, your mirror, your destiny. Think about how they push you. They bring out parts of you you didn't know existed. Sometimes they bring out your fire. Sometimes they bring out your fears. They crack you open in ways no one else could. They hold up a mirror to your deepest wounds, forcing you to face the shadows you'd rather avoid. And as painful as that can feel, you know it's divine, because that cracking open is where the light gets in. The breaking apart is what allows your soul to expand. That struggle is the very soil where your growth takes root. And yet, in the middle of it all, through the passion, through the challenges, through the questions, there's something unshakable. Something that whispers, this love is sacred. Something that tells you, this connection is eternal. Something that no amount of distance, silence, or doubt can truly erase. Chosen one, this love isn't here just to make you happy. It's here to make you whole. It's here to refine you, just like the fire did. It's here to teach you what it means to love beyond ego, beyond fear, beyond conditions. This is not about surface-level affection. This is about a soul-deep connection that laughs at time, that spits in the face of logic, that says, we were written before the stars were hung in the sky. And maybe right now, that love feels threatened. Maybe the whispers of fear are loud. Maybe doubts creep in late at night. Maybe silence makes you wonder if they're slipping away. And part of you wants to shut down, to protect yourself, to believe the lie that this was just a coincidence. But chosen one, hear this clearly. It's not coincidence, it never was. This is divine orchestration. And the very fact that you're questioning it is proof that it matters. Because the enemy only attacks what's sacred. Fear only fights what has value. Shadows only rise where light threatens to break through. So don't give in to the lies. Don't give in to the doubts. Don't let distance or silence trick you into believing that what the universe handwrote can be undone by circumstance. God doesn't design accidents. The universe doesn't waste connections. If this person is part of your soul's mission, if this love is woven into your destiny, then it will outlast every storm. But it requires you to rise. It requires you to fight, not against them, not against yourself, but against the fear, the doubt, the lies that try to separate you from the truth. Because here's the truth. Love like this is rare. Love like this is sacred. Love like this doesn't just show up for anyone, and it doesn't come without responsibility. You've been entrusted with it, chosen for it, called to protect it. And that doesn't mean it's easy. In fact, it means the opposite. It's going to challenge you, stretch you, force you to grow in ways you never imagined. But it's worth it. Because this love isn't just about you two. It's about what happens when your souls unite, when your light combines, when your mission merges into one. Imagine it. Imagine the ripple effect of two souls, fully awake, fully aligned, fully committed to love, not just as an emotion, but as a force. Imagine what happens when you and the person you love deeply become a living example of faith, of courage, of resilience. Imagine how many people will be inspired, how many will heal, how many will rise just by witnessing your union. That's why it feels so big. That's why it feels so heavy. That's why it feels so cosmic. Because it is. And yes, fear will always try to sabotage it. Fear will whisper lies. You're not enough. They don't really love you. It's too hard. It's impossible. But fear is a liar. Fear is smoke. Fear is nothing compared to the force of love. You were not built for fear. You were built for faith. And this love requires your faith, not in a fairy tale ending, but in God's design. Not in perfect circumstances, but in the truth that the universe never wastes a connection. So, what do? You rise. You stand tall. You love boldly. You fight, not with fists, but with faith. Not with desperation, but with devotion. Not with fear, but with the unshakable knowing that this love is bigger than you, bigger than them, bigger than any obstacle. You choose to be the anchor, the lighthouse, the warrior who refuses to let shadows win. Because, chosen one, this love is not just a gift, it's a mission. And your role in that mission is clear. Protect it, nurture it, honor it, fight for it. Not in a way that suffocates, but in a way that liberates. Not in a way that controls, but in a way that inspires. Not in a way that drains you, but in a way that calls you to your highest self. This is what makes your love divine. This is what makes it destiny. Not the ease, not the convenience, not the butterflies, but the unshakable, eternal knowing that this love was written long before you got here, and it will echo long after you're gone. So breathe deep, chosen one. Lean into it, trust it, protect it, because this isn't just romance. It's sacred history unfolding in real time, and you, with your fire, with your faith, with your light, are being called to carry it. Chosen one, the truth is this: even the strongest souls feel the sting of doubt. Even warriors of light hear the whispers that say, maybe you're wrong, maybe this isn't real, maybe you're not enough. And when it comes to love, especially a love as sacred and cosmic as the one you carry, the enemy of fear works over time. It creeps in through silence. It slips in through distance. It poisons the mind with questions that eat away at faith. You've felt it, haven't you? That heaviness when the person you love deeply feels far away. The way your chest tightens when messages go unanswered, when silence lingers longer than usual. The way your mind starts spinning stories, weaving lies that say they don't care, they're slipping. It's over. Doubt always shows up dressed as logic, pretending to be the voice of reason, pretending to protect you from disappointment. But chosen one, doubt is not logic. Doubt is poison. Because here's what doubt does. It magnifies the distance. It amplifies the silence. It makes shadows look like mountains. Doubt doesn't see the divine design. It only sees the cracks. And if you listen long enough, it will convince you to walk away from what was meant for you. That's how powerful it is. That's why you cannot afford to let it stay. But here's the good news. Doubt may knock, but you don't have to let it in. You don't have to set the table for it, pour it a drink, and let it take residence in your mind. You have a choice, and your choice is this: faith. Not blind faith, but rooted faith. Faith that says, I know what I felt, I know what God showed me. I know the truth of this connection, and no silence, no distance, no fear can erase it. Think about it. Hasn't life already proven this to you? Haven't you already faced storms that tried to break you? Haven't you already survived nights when you thought you couldn't go on? And yet, here you are, breathing, standing, glowing, stronger than ever. If those storms couldn't break you, do you really think a little silence, a little distance, a little fear can undo what the universe itself has written? No, impossible. Doubt is loud, but truth is louder if you let it be. And the truth is this: what's meant for you cannot pass you by. The universe doesn't play games with destiny. God doesn't tease his chosen. If this love has been written into your path, then it is yours. Not by force, not by manipulation, but by divine right. All you have to do is hold the line. Stand in faith. Refuse to let fear dictate the story. Yes, there will be times when it feels impossible. There will be nights when the silence feels like it's suffocating you. When the person you love deeply feels so far away that your soul aches with longing. And in those moments, the temptation will be to give up, to close your heart, to say, this hurts too much, I can't do this. But chosen one, that's the exact moment when you must stand tallest. because the closer you get to breakthrough, the louder the resistance becomes. Think of it like this. When light is about to break through the night, the darkness always fights hardest. The moments right before dawn are the darkest. The resistance you feel is not proof that it's over. It's proof that something powerful is on the horizon. And if you can just hold the line, just keep believing, just keep choosing faith over fear, you will see the dawn. The person you love deeply. They may be battling their own doubts. They may be caught in their own shadows. They may be listening to the same lies that try to creep into your mind. And if you give up, if you let fear win, then you're not just abandoning your faith, you're leaving them without an anchor. You are their lighthouse. You are their reminder. You are the one who stands tall when they cannot. That's part of your mission. That's part of your calling. But let me be clear, standing tall doesn't mean chasing. It doesn't mean begging. It doesn't mean losing yourself in the process of holding on. Standing tall means holding faith in your heart, radiating light even in the silence, embodying love even when it feels like it's slipping. It means staying rooted in who you are, refusing to dim your light, refusing to let fear dictate your story. Because doubt will always try to shrink you. It will try to convince you to protect yourself by closing your heart. But protecting yourself by closing your heart is not protection. It's surrender. And you, chosen one, are not here to surrender to fear. You are here to conquer it. You are here to be the living proof that love is stronger, that faith is louder, that destiny is unshakable. So, the next time doubt knocks, pause, breathe. Remember who you are. Remember the fire in your chest, the whisper in your soul, the light that refuses to dim. Remember that you are chosen, not by chance, but by divine design. And chosen ones do not bow to fear. They rise in the face of it. They stare it down, they call it out, and they replace it with faith. Faith doesn't mean you'll never feel afraid. Faith means you choose love anyway. Faith means you keep showing up for what's sacred, even when fear tells you to run. Faith means you trust God's timing, even when your own feels restless. Faith means you refuse to let silence define the story. And here's the beautiful thing. When you choose faith, when you refuse to let doubt win, you become unshakable. And that energy, that light, that strength, it radiates. It reaches the person you love. It calls to their soul even if they don't understand it in their mind. It whispers to them, you are safe here. You are seen here. You are loved here. And that whisper may be the very thing that pulls them back, that reminds them of who they are, that helps them fight their own battles with fear. So, chosen one, when doubt knocks, don't crumble. Don't hide. Don't close off. Stand tall. Breathe deep. Anchor yourself in faith. Because doubt may knock, but it cannot enter unless you let it. And you, chosen one, are too powerful, too sacred, too destined to ever let fear write the story of your love. Chosen one, this is where the battle sharpens. The battlefield is not out there, it's inside you. It's not armies clashing on distant plains. It's not enemies with swords or weapons. No, the war you fight is quieter and far more dangerous. It's the war of fear against faith, darkness against light, doubt against knowing. And in this war, you are not a victim. You are a warrior. Fear wants to convince you it's your protector. It disguises itself as reason, as practicality, as self-defense. It whispers things like, don't get your hopes up. You'll only be disappointed. Don't love too deeply. You'll only get hurt. Don't trust this connection. It's too risky. Fear pretends it's there to shield you from pain. But chosen one, don't you see? Fear doesn't protect. It paralyzes. It doesn't save. It steals. Faith, on the other hand, is freedom. Faith says, I don't need to see the whole path to take the first step. I don't need every answer to trust the process. I don't need to know how this ends to give my heart fully. Faith doesn't erase risk. It transforms it. Faith turns risk into courage, uncertainty into possibility, obstacles into stepping stones. Faith is the fire that keeps your light burning when shadows press in. You've felt both, haven't you? You've known the weight of fear pressing on your chest. keeping you awake at night, making your thoughts race. And you've known the peace of faith, the way it quiets your soul, the way it reminds you that you are held, that you are guided, that you are never alone. Both voices live inside you. The question is, which one will you feed? Because here's the truth. Whatever you feed grows. If you feed fear with your attention, your energy, your belief, it will expand. It will grow until it consumes you, until it convinces you to shrink, to settle, to abandon the mission. But if you feed faith through prayer, through meditation, through affirmations, through action, that's what will grow. And when faith grows, fear has no room left. This is why chosen ones are called to discipline. Not the discipline of rigid rules, but the discipline of choice. Every moment you are choosing fear or faith. Every text you send, every prayer you whisper, every step you take is a vote cast for one side or the other. And no one can choose for you. This is your war. This is your decision. The person you love deeply. Yes, they're part of this too. They may be drowning in fear right now. They may be questioning their worth, their place, their ability to love or be loved. And when fear grips someone, it distorts everything. It makes love look like danger. It makes connection look like risk. It makes the very thing they crave the most feel like the very thing they should run from. That's what fear does. But here's where your mission comes in. You don't fight their battle for them. You fight yours. You hold the faith steady so that when they waver, they see your light. You don't force them. You don't beg them. You don't chase them. You simply live in such a way that your faith is undeniable. You become the walking embodiment of trust, courage, and love. And in doing so, you give them permission to step into the same. This is what separates chosen ones from the crowd. Most people let fear write their story. Most people let fear keep them small. But not you, not when you know what's at stake. Not when you've felt the fire in your chest that refuses to let you settle. Not when you know that love like this is divine, rare, eternal. So how do you strengthen faith when fear feels overwhelming? You practice. You return again and again to the truth. You speak it out loud. I am chosen. I am guided. I am enough. This love is sacred. This mission is mine. Fear has no power here. You breathe through the waves of panic. You remind yourself of the storms you've already survived. You take one step, then another, even when the path isn't clear. That's faith, not waiting for clarity, but moving anyway. And don't underestimate action. Fear thrives in hesitation. The longer you wait, the louder it becomes. Faith grows through movement. Maybe that means sending a simple message when fear says, stay silent. Maybe it means showing up for yourself, journaling, meditating, praying, when fear says, numb yourself instead. Maybe it means choosing to love openly, vulnerably, without guarantees, when fear says, close your heart. This isn't about being reckless. It's about alignment. Faith isn't denial, it's conviction. It's knowing that God has placed you here, now, with this love, this mission, for a reason. It's choosing to trust that every step you take in faith moves you closer to the destiny already written. And let's be honest, fear doesn't vanish overnight. You may still feel it. You may still hear its whispers. But here's the shift. Fear can be present without being in control. You don't need to destroy it. You just need to stop obeying it. Fear may walk beside you, but faith takes the lead. And when faith leads, the path becomes brighter, the journey lighter, the love stronger. So, chosen one, remember this. Fear is a liar. Faith is the truth. Fear drains. Faith fuels. Fear binds. Faith frees. Every time you choose faith, you break chains. Not just for yourself, but for the person you love, for everyone connected to your light. This is bigger than you. This is bigger than romance. This is the revolution of love versus fear. And you, chosen one, are on the front lines. So breathe deep, stand tall, let faith rise. Let it fill your chest, your mind, your spirit. Let it guide your words, your steps, your love. And when fear knocks, smile, because you already know you've already chosen. And nothing, not silence, not distance, not doubt, can undo the power of a chosen one living in faith. Chosen one, this is the part most people skip. They think the mission is only about love, only about protecting the one who mirrors their soul. They think it's about pouring endlessly into someone else, giving everything they have until there's nothing left. But you already know the truth, don't you? You've felt it. The exhaustion that creeps in when you try to save someone while your own spirit is running on empty. You've felt the frustration of wanting to love fully, only to realize you can't pour water from a dry well. This is why God keeps pulling you back to yourself. Because before you can be anyone's anchor, you must be grounded. Before you can guide, you must be centered. Before you can hold the line for someone you love, you must strengthen your own soul. This isn't selfishness. It's strategy. This is preparation. This is divine wisdom. Think of a lighthouse. Its entire purpose is to shine so ships at sea don't crash into the rocks. But what if the lighthouse never tends to its own flame? What if the keeper forgets to fuel it, clean it, protect it from the storm? The light would go out. And without the light, ships would drift into danger. The lighthouse doesn't save ships by sailing out into the storm itself. It saves them by shining where it stands. That's you. That's the role you're called to play. And you can't shine if you don't tend to your own flame. So, how do you fill your cup? You begin with presence. You slow down long enough to actually listen to yourself. Too often, chosen ones run on autopilot, giving, sacrificing, pushing forward without pause. But your soul speaks in whispers, not shouts. If you're too busy, too distracted, too depleted, you won't hear it. This is why stillness matters. Meditation, prayer, breathing deeply until the noise quiets and you feel that steady heartbeat of the divine inside you. That's the first refill. Next comes honesty. You can't heal what you won't face. Maybe there are wounds you've ignored, fears you've stuffed down, patterns you've carried that keep draining you. Filling your cup doesn't mean pretending everything is fine. It means sitting with what's real. It means acknowledging the pain without letting it define you. It means journaling the thoughts you don't say out loud, confessing the weight to God, allowing the light to touch even the darkest corners. Because when light enters, healing begins. Then comes nourishment. Not just food, though your body matters more than you realize. Every time you fuel it with real, living food, every time you move it, stretch it, strengthen it, you're telling yourself, I matter. I am worth the effort. I am a temple for the divine. But nourishment is more than physical. It's mental, emotional, spiritual. What are you feeding your mind? Endless scrolling, comparison, negativity, or wisdom, beauty, truth? What music? What words? What conversations are you letting into your spirit? Everything you consume becomes fuel or poison for your soul. And then, chosen one, there's rest. You've been trained to see rest as laziness, as weakness, as wasted time. But God Himself rested on the seventh day. Rest is sacred. Rest is obedience. Rest is trust. When you rest, you declare, I don't have to control everything. I don't have to strive endlessly. I trust that God holds what I cannot. Rest recharges your mind. Rest strengthens your body. Rest renews your spirit. Without it, you will burn out. With it, you rise again stronger. Filling your cup also means boundaries. Yes, boundaries, the word many chosen ones struggle with. Because your heart is big, your love is fierce. Your instinct is to give, to carry, to rescue. But boundaries aren't walls, they are gates. They protect your energy from what drains you so you can give freely to what matters. Boundaries say, I will not waste myself on distractions. I will not let fear, toxicity, or chaos siphon my energy. I choose where my love flows. Boundaries aren't about pushing people away, they're about keeping your mission clear. And here's the paradox. When you fill your own cup first, you actually have more to give. Your love becomes richer, deeper, steadier. Instead of desperation, you bring abundance. Instead of clinging, you bring freedom. Instead of emptiness, you bring overflow. And that overflow is what the person you love needs most. Not a drained, half-alive version of you, but the full, radiant, powerful soul you were always meant to be. Remember this: even Jesus withdrew to pray. Even the strongest warriors take time to sharpen their swords. Even the brightest flames need tending. If you keep pushing, keep giving, without pausing to restore, your light will dim. And chosen one, the world cannot afford for your light to go out. Not now, not in this moment. Not when you've been called to something so divine. So today, make the choice. Choose to rest without guilt. Choose to pray without rushing. Choose to nourish without apology. Choose to say no when your spirit says no. Choose to honor the vessel that carries your light. Every act of self-care is not selfish, it's sacred. It's preparation for the mission. It's fueling the fire for the battles ahead. And as you fill yourself, something beautiful happens. You begin to radiate. People feel it when you walk into a room. They sense it in your words, in your presence, in your love. The person you love deeply, they feel it too. Your fullness inspires their fullness. Your strength reminds them of their strength. Your faith ignites their faith. This is how you protect them, chosen one, not by draining yourself, but by overflowing. Never forget, your first mission is you. Because when you rise, when you shine, when you fill your cup until it overflows, you don't just save yourself, you light the way for others. That's the power of a chosen one, living full, living whole, living aligned. And that's the power you're stepping into right now. Chosen one, pause for a moment and feel this truth settle into your bones. Everything you need for the battles ahead is already inside you. Every tool, every weapon, every spark of wisdom, every drop of courage. You are not waiting to be equipped. You are not incomplete. You are not missing the thing that will make you ready. The readiness has been inside you since the day you took your first breath. You've doubted it, haven't you? You've wondered if you're strong enough, wise enough, worthy enough. You've looked at others and thought they must have something you don't. That special gift, that hidden knowledge, that divine touch that makes them capable of carrying out their mission. But that's a lie whispered by fear. God doesn't make mistakes. He doesn't call the equipped, He equips the called. And chosen one, you are called. Think back to your scars. Every one of them taught you something. The heartbreaks taught you resilience. The betrayals taught you discernment. The losses taught you gratitude. The storms taught you to anchor deep. You didn't just survive them, you absorbed their lessons. And those lessons became tools. Tools that sit quietly inside you, waiting for the moment you recognize their worth. Courage is in you. Don't you remember the times you acted even when you were afraid? Fear screamed at you, told you to back down, told you it was safer to stay small, but you moved anyway. Maybe it was subtle. Choosing to speak when silence was easier, choosing to walk away when clinging was safer, choosing to hope when despair wanted to own you. That was courage. It wasn't borrowed, it wasn't given, it was yours. And it still is. Wisdom is in you. It's that quiet knowing in your gut, the voice you've sometimes ignored but later realized was right all along. It's the way patterns show themselves to you. The way your spirit picks up on energies and truths others miss. Wisdom isn't just age or experience, it's divine sight. It's God's whisper through your intuition, and it has always been part of you. Strength is in you, not the kind measured in pounds lifted or miles run, but the strength that kept you breathing when life knocked you down. The strength that let you rise after nights you thought would destroy you. The strength that let you forgive when bitterness begged you to stay. That strength is holy. It is unshakable. It is your inheritance. And love, oh chosen one, the love inside you is your greatest weapon. It's not ordinary love. It's not shallow, fleeting, conditional love. It's love that burns, love that heals, love that refuses to give up. That's why your heart feels so different. That's why your love feels like fire. Because it was designed to be. Your love was created as a weapon against darkness, Every time you love fiercely, fear loses ground. Every time you love without condition, chains break. Every time you love with truth, light floods the shadows. But here's the thing, tools only matter when you trust them. Too many chosen ones are armed to the teeth with the gifts, but never use them because they doubt themselves. They wait for a sign, for permission, for someone else to confirm what they already know. And in waiting, they stay small. But not you, not anymore. It's time to trust what's already there. The universe didn't hand you this mission without also handing you the keys to carry it out. You are not stepping into battle unprepared. You are stepping in fully armed, fully trained, fully capable. The enemy wants you to believe otherwise. Fear wants you to think you're lacking. Doubt wants you to believe you're fragile. But chosen one, look at your life. You've already proven them wrong 1,000 times. Remember the night you thought you wouldn't make it through? You did. Remember the betrayal you thought would break you? You're still here. Remember the silence you thought would crush you? You found your voice anyway. That is proof. Proof that the tools work. Proof that you are already equipped. Proof that you are not ordinary. You are chosen. And here's the deeper truth. The tools inside you don't just serve you. They serve the mission. They serve the person you love deeply. They serve the world that needs your light. Your courage teaches them courage. Your wisdom helps them see. Your strength holds them steady. Your love heals their wounds. When you use your tools, you multiply their power by sharing them. That's how the ripple spreads. That's how destiny unfolds. So stop waiting. Stop questioning. Stop looking outside yourself for what has always been within. Look in the mirror and see it. The warrior, the lover, the guide, the flame. God has already planted every tool you'll ever need in your spirit. The storms you've endured have sharpened them. The pain you've faced has strengthened them. The love you've carried has crowned them. You are ready. You always have been. All that's left is for you to trust it, to pick up the tools, to wield them boldly, to believe in the power that already lives inside you. The mission is here. The love is here. The time is now. And chosen one, you have everything you need. Chosen one, you've heard it said that actions speak louder than words. And in your case, that truth echoes louder than ever. Because your mission in this world isn't about convincing people with speeches or arguments. It isn't about proving yourself to doubters or begging anyone to believe in you. No, your mission is about living so fully, so authentically, so boldly, that your very life becomes the message. You are not here to preach, you are here to embody. The person you love deeply, the one tied to your destiny, doesn't need you to fix them. They don't need you to rescue them. They don't need you to carry every weight on your back until you collapse. That's not your role, and that's not what divine love asks of you. What they need is to see what it looks like when a chosen one stands tall in their truth. What they need is your example, your courage, your faith, your light burning so brightly that it stirs something in them they can't ignore. Think about it. Haven't you been most inspired by people who simply lived their truth? Not by those who lectured, but by those whose presence radiated strength and authenticity. Maybe it was someone who kept choosing love when the world chose hate. Maybe it was someone who refused to settle for less when everyone else bowed to mediocrity. Maybe it was someone who spoke their truth even when their voice shook. Those are the examples that leave marks on souls. That's who you are being called to be. And this goes beyond romance. This isn't about being perfect for your partner. This is about living in such a way that your very existence becomes a mirror for them. A mirror that shows them who they are meant to become. When they see you stand tall in faith, they remember that they too can rise. When they see you walk in courage, they're reminded of their own courage. When they see you love fiercely, they're invited into that same depth of love. That's how the sacred connection works. It's reciprocal, it's magnetic, it's transformative. But here's the challenge. It requires you to live in alignment, not just intention. You can't just talk about being strong. You must be strong in the face of trials. You can't just say you believe in divine timing. You must embody patience when everything feels delayed. You can't just speak about unconditional love. You must live it when fear and insecurity tempt you to withdraw. Alignment means that your actions, your choices, your energy all echo the truth you claim. And when you fall short, and you will because you are human, don't let shame convince you you've failed. Even in your imperfections, you can be an example. Show what it means to fall and rise again. Show what it means to admit mistakes and grow. Show what it means to stay humble, to keep learning, to keep walking even when the road feels heavy. Your resilience is just as powerful an example as your strength. The person you love deeply is watching, not in judgment, not in criticism, but because their soul is tethered to yours. They feel your energy, they are influenced by your vibration, and when you choose to live in authenticity, you create space for them to do the same. That's how divine love works. It's not chains, it's wings. It doesn't bind, it liberates. It doesn't suffocate, it expands. And don't underestimate the ripple. Yes, your partner feels it, but so do others. Friends, family, strangers who encounter your presence for only a moment. Every time you live boldly, you plant seeds in someone else's spirit. Seeds of hope, seeds of faith, seeds of courage. You may never see them bloom, but they do. That's the legacy of chosen ones. They leave trails of light everywhere they go, often without even realizing it. Now, this doesn't mean you need to be on a stage or have thousands of followers. Your example doesn't require an audience. Sometimes the quiet choices, choosing kindness when no one is watching, choosing faith in the silence of your own prayers, choosing love when no one else would know if you gave up, these are the moments that carry the most weight. Because God sees. The universe responds, and the person tied to your destiny feels it in their soul. Remember, chosen one, you are not called to carry others, you're called to inspire them. You can't drag someone into their destiny, but you can shine so brightly that they find their own courage to step into it. You can't force love to grow, but you can nurture it with your own authenticity until it blossoms naturally. You can't make anyone believe in divine timing, but you can embody patience so fully that they can't deny the peace it brings. This is what it means to be a leader of light. Not to demand, not to control, not to dominate, but to lead by example. To live so truthfully that others are drawn to their own truth. To walk with such conviction that others find their footing too. To love so deeply that others remember what love really is. And yes, this is a high calling. Yes, it feels heavy at times. Yes, it asks more of you than you sometimes think you can give, but you were not chosen by accident. God saw the strength in you before you saw it in yourself. The universe planted this fire in you because it knew you could carry it, and the person you love deeply is part of this calling, not as someone to fix, but as someone to rise with. So breathe deep, stand tall, live as the example. Let your life become the sermon, your choices the testimony, your love the proof of divine power. Because chosen one, your example isn't just shaping your destiny, it's shaping theirs, and it's shaping the world. Chosen one, listen closely, there's no time to waste. You've been given signs, whispers, nudges from the universe for years, but right now the energy has shifted. This is not a season for hesitation. This is not the moment for sitting back, waiting for clarity, or pretending you don't hear the call. The call is loud, it's urgent, and it's divine. The love in your heart, the mission in your soul, the destiny that has been building inside you, everything is converging here now. You can feel it, can't you? That restlessness in your spirit, that sense that if you don't act, something precious might slip through your fingers. That gnawing awareness that opportunities like this are windows. They open for a moment, and then they close. And once they close, you don't get them back in the same way. You might get another chance, but it won't be this chance. It won't be this exact alignment of people, energy, timing, and divine orchestration. That's why this moment carries such weight. The love you carry for that person, the one written into your destiny, is not ordinary. It's not replaceable. It's not just another relationship. This is sacred. This is cosmic. And right now, silence, fear, and distraction are circling like vultures, waiting for you to hesitate. Every second you wait, fear gains ground. Every moment you delay, doubt whispers louder. Every time you convince yourself later, the enemy of destiny smiles, because later is how chosen ones lose their fire. But you weren't built to lose. You weren't made to shrink. You weren't chosen to sit back and watch divine love unravel because of hesitation. You were chosen to act, to move, to step forward in faith even when you can't see the full path. That's how destiny works. It doesn't unfold all at once. It unfolds step by step, action by action, moment by moment. But it only unfolds if you move. Think about it. How many times has fear stolen your joy before? How many times have you second-guessed yourself into paralysis? How many opportunities have slipped by because you let the what-ifs get louder than the why-nots? And every time you were left with regret, weren't you? Regret is the cost of hesitation. But not this time. Not now. This love, this mission, this calling, it's too important. And it's not just about you. The person you love deeply might be on the edge too, struggling, doubting, wondering if they're worthy. They might be caught in their own storm of fears, temptations, and distractions. They might be drifting, thinking they're forgotten, or questioning if the connection is real. And if you don't step in now, if you don't anchor them with your presence, the enemy of fear will use the silence to pull them away. That's why this is urgent. Because love like this is rare. Because the timing is divine. Because the universe has set the stage. But the actors, you and them, must play your parts. And if you hesitate, the curtain may close before the story has a chance to unfold. Now is the time to speak truth. Now is the time to stand boldly. Now is the time to show them, not with empty promises but with action, that this love is sacred, that it's worth fighting for, that it's not something you'll let slip into the shadows. Your courage in this moment can change everything. But courage doesn't always look like grand gestures. Sometimes courage looks like sending that message when your hands are shaking. Sometimes it looks like showing up in person when fear says, stay away. Sometimes it looks like praying for them with all your heart, even when they don't know you're doing it. Sometimes it's as simple as refusing to believe the lies of fear and choosing faith again and again until it becomes your default. Do not underestimate the power of small actions done with great intention. The universe responds to movement. God responds to faith. Destiny responds to choice. And every step you take, no matter how small, sends a ripple through the spiritual realm. A ripple that pushes back fear. A ripple that strengthens your connection. A ripple that signals to the universe, I'm ready. I'm committed. I'm not backing down. And yes, chosen one, urgency can feel heavy. It can make you feel like the weight of the world is on your shoulders. But here's the truth, you're not carrying this alone. God is with you. The universe is guiding you. Angels are fighting battles you can't even see. All you need to do is act, to move, to choose love over fear in this exact moment. Remember this, hesitation is the enemy of destiny. But obedience to the call creates miracles. When you move, heaven moves with you. When you speak, divine energy flows through you. When you love without fear, chains break, walls fall, and hearts awaken. That's the power of urgency. It doesn't paralyze you, it propels you. So breathe. Feel that fire in your chest. Let it push you past hesitation, past fear, past the excuses you've told yourself for too long. This is your moment. This is your time. The universe has aligned it. God has anointed it. And your soul has been waiting for it. Do not waste it. Because, chosen one, if you move now, if you act in faith, if you show love with courage, you won't just save a relationship, you'll shift your destiny. You'll step into a new timeline where fear no longer rules you, where love becomes your weapon, and where you finally embody the purpose you've always felt beating inside you. The urgency of now is not meant to scare you. It's meant to awaken you. It's meant to shake you out of comfort, out of hesitation, out of passivity. It's meant to remind you that destiny doesn't wait for the undecided. Destiny belongs to the bold, and you, chosen one, are bold. So rise, move, act, speak, love, do it now, because now is holy ground, and this moment will never come again. Chosen one, you may think this mission is only about you and the person you love deeply, but it's bigger than that, much bigger. What you choose to do or not do ripples far beyond your own life. Your courage, your faith, your decision to rise right now doesn't just shape your story. It touches every soul you encounter, every generation that comes after you, every person who looks at your light and remembers their own. You see, legacy isn't something that happens when you die. Legacy is what you're building every single day with your choices, your love, your words, and your presence. When you decide to fight for love instead of giving in to fear, you're modeling something rare in this world. You're showing people that commitment is still sacred, that faith still matters, that light still overcomes darkness. You're showing your friends, your family, strangers watching from afar, and even your children or future children, what it means to stand for something eternal. Think about the ripple effect of one person's courage. Generations are healed when one soul decides to break the cycle. Entire communities shift when one heart chooses love over fear. The world becomes brighter when one chosen one decides not to dim their light. And that's you. You're that one. You're the living proof that change doesn't always start with revolutions, but with one heart burning so brightly that others can't help but remember their own fire. The person you love deeply is part of this ripple. They're not just your partner in romance, they're your partner in impact. Together, your union becomes a lighthouse. Together, your bond becomes a testimony. Together, your love teaches others what divine connection looks like in a world drowning in shallow imitations. The strength of your bond, the authenticity of your love, the way you refuse to give up, it inspires, it heals, it calls others higher. But don't mistake this ripple for something easy. The world resists it. Fear resists it. Darkness resists it. Because a soul on fire threatens everything that thrives in shadows. And a love that is rooted in purpose threatens everything built on emptiness. That's why the attacks have felt so strong. That's why doubts creep in. That's why the temptation to quit whispers so loud. Because if you keep going, if you refuse to bend, if you fight for this sacred love, you don't just win for yourself, you win for everyone connected to you. And there are more people connected to you than you realize. Every word you speak in courage, someone hears. Every act of love you choose over bitterness, someone notices. Every time you forgive when it would have been easier to hold a grudge, someone learns what grace looks like. You may never know the names of the people you touch, but they're there. They're watching. They're being shaped by your choices. That's the power of being chosen. It's not just about your journey. It's about the chain reaction you set off simply by living boldly. You're not just protecting love. You're teaching others to protect their own. You're not just rising in purpose. You're paving a path for others to rise too. Your light is contagious. Your courage is infectious. And your faith is catalytic. And legacy isn't just what you leave. It's what you live. When people encounter you, do they feel seen? Do they feel encouraged? Do they walk away remembering they're divine too? That's how legacy works. It's not always about the big things. It's about 1,000 small choices to love, to serve, to shine, to forgive, to keep going when it would have been easier to quit. The person you love deeply is also part of how legacy grows. Because when they see you rising, they rise. When they feel your faith, their faith strengthens. When they witness your refusal to give up, they begin to believe in themselves again. And that's the point. You're not here to fix them, but to remind them of who they are. To remind them of their own divine light. To help them see they are worthy, they are chosen, and they are powerful too. And when you and they rise together, the ripple doubles. It triples. It multiplies in ways you can't even measure. Together, your love becomes a force that breaks generational curses. It becomes a movement that inspires others to hope again. It becomes a revolution of light that doesn't just change your story, it changes the world. Chosen one, understand this. Every act of love you live today builds tomorrow's world. The children who will one day hear your story, the strangers who will one day be touched by your presence, the friends who are silently watching you, rooting for you, learning from you. Every single one of them is being impacted by what you choose to do now. That's why urgency matters. That's why your faith matters. That's why your love matters. The ripple of legacy doesn't require perfection. It requires presence. It requires persistence. It requires you showing up as authentically and courageously as you can, even when you stumble, even when you fail, even when you feel small. Because legacy isn't about flawless moments. It's about consistent ones. It's about being the kind of soul who refuses to give up on what is sacred, no matter how hard the road becomes. So the question is, what ripple do you want to leave? One of fear, hesitation, and regret? Or one of faith, courage, and divine love? Because every choice you make now writes the story your descendants will tell. Every moment you choose love over fear echoes through eternity. Every time you step up, speak truth, and fight for sacred connection, the universe takes note. And here's the secret. Your ripple has already begun. You're not waiting for the future to build your legacy. You're building it now, with this very decision to rise, with the fire burning in your chest, with the choice to read these words and say, yes, this is me. I will not back down. That's the spark. That's the ignition. That's the start of a legacy that will outlive you. Chosen one. Don't underestimate yourself. Don't think your actions are too small, your words too quiet, your light too dim. Every drop becomes an ocean. Every flicker becomes a fire. Every ripple becomes a wave, and your wave has already begun. So rise boldly, love deeply, act fearlessly, because when you do, the world doesn't just watch, it transforms. That's the ripple of legacy you're called to carry. And you, chosen one, are ready. Chosen one, this is where everything comes full circle. This is where you understand that your journey was never random, never accidental, never meaningless. Every scar, every heartbreak, every moment you thought you couldn't go on, it was all leading you here. Not to break you, but to shape you. Not to diminish you, but to prepare you. You are here because destiny placed you here. You are here because eternity whispered your name before time even began. And now you carry something sacred inside you, an eternal flame. A flame that no storm can extinguish, no lie can smother, no darkness can overcome. It flickers, yes, it wavers sometimes, but it does not die because it was not given by man. It was not lit by circumstance. It was placed in you by God Himself, and that means nothing can take it away. This flame is your faith, it's your love, it's your courage. It's the fire in your chest that has been with you since the beginning, the fire that refuses to let you settle, that pushes you to rise, that reminds you over and over again. You were born for more. You were born for greatness, for purpose, for light. You were born to carry love as a weapon and faith as your armor. You were born to rise as a warrior of the soul. And this eternal flame inside you, it's not just for you. It's for the person you love deeply. It's for your family. It's for the people who will cross your path years from now and find hope because you chose to shine. It's for the ones who don't yet believe they're chosen, who are drowning in their shadows, who are waiting for someone like you to show them what light looks like. That's the responsibility of the flame. You carry it, not just to survive, but to ignite others. The person you love deeply, your mirror, your partner, your reflection, they are part of this eternal flame. They are the one who fuels it, tests it, refines it, and expands it. And as you protect this love, you protect not just a relationship, but a divine covenant. You protect a bond written in the stars. You protect the mission God trusted you both to fulfill. But remember, protecting love doesn't mean clinging tightly in fear. It means holding it with reverence. It means nurturing it, strengthening it, shielding it from the noise of the world. It means refusing to let fear, pride, or ego extinguish what heaven itself designed. Protecting love means showing up consistently, courageously, faithfully, because love is not just emotion, it's action, it's devotion. It's the eternal flame that keeps burning no matter the season. And when doubts creep in, as they always will, return to the flame. When fear whispers lies, return to the flame. When silence feels heavy and distance feels impossible, return to the flame. Because this fire inside you will never lead you astray. It knows the truth. It knows the love is real. It knows the mission is divine. It knows that even when everything outside you says give up, inside you something greater says keep going. This eternal flame is also your reminder that timing is never wrong. Even when it feels delayed, even when it feels like you missed your moment, trust the fire. Trust the one who lit it. God's timing is always perfect. The universe never wastes pain, never misses a step, never makes a mistake. You are right where you need to be, carrying the flame exactly as you are meant to. But here's the key. Flames spread when you feed them. If you neglect your spirit, the flame dims. If you starve your faith, the fire weakens. That's why your first mission will always be to tend to your own soul. Pray, meditate, rest, breathe, write, connect. Refill yourself so that your flame burns brighter, stronger, steadier. Only then can you light the way for the person you love. Only then can you be the anchor, the lighthouse, the warrior God called you to be. And chosen one, hear this clearly. You are enough. You've always been enough. The flame inside you is proof that you were born for this. Proof that you are capable of protecting divine love. Proof that you are strong enough to carry your mission. Proof that you are chosen, not by accident, but by design. So now comes the call, the final call. Rise up, step forward. Choose faith over fear, courage over doubt, love over pride. Protect the love that was written in the stars. Guard the bond that eternity itself created. Live boldly, love deeply, shine unapologetically. Because when you do, your eternal flame won't just guide you. It will guide generations. It will heal wounds you'll never see. It will inspire people you'll never meet. It will ripple into eternity. And when the day comes that your earthly journey ends, the flame will remain. It will live on in the love you protected, the lives you touched, the souls you ignited. This is the truth, chosen one. You are not ordinary. You never were. You are not just another face in the crowd. You are not just someone passing through. You are a vessel of light, a warrior of love, a carrier of an eternal flame. And no matter what the world says, no matter how fierce the battles get, no matter how loud fear screams, your flame will never be extinguished. So take a breath, lift your head, stand tall, love fiercely, protect courageously, shine without apology. Because the universe is watching, God is guiding, destiny is unfolding, and you, chosen one, you are ready. Always remember, the flame is eternal, and so are you, chosen one. If this message stirred something in your soul, don't just scroll away, act. Hit that like button right now so this light spreads to more people who need it. Drop a 777 in the comments to declare your alignment with destiny. And most importantly, subscribe and join this rising tribe of warriors who refuse to settle for mediocrity. Every video here is fuel for your faith, courage, and purpose. Don't wait, don't hesitate. Your mission is calling. Step into the movement. Step into your power. The universe has chosen you. Answer the call today. Extinguished. So take a breath. Lift your head. Stand tall. Love fiercely. Protect courageously. Shine without apology. Because the universe is watching. God is guiding. Destiny is unfolding. And you, chosen one, you are ready. Always remember, the flame is eternal, and so are you, chosen one. If this message stirred something in your soul, don't just scroll away, act. Hit that like button right now so this light spreads to more people who need it. Drop a 777 in the comments to declare your alignment with destiny. And most importantly, subscribe and join this rising tribe of warriors who refuse to settle for mediocrity. Every video here is fuel for your faith, courage, and purpose. Don't wait, don't hesitate. Your mission is calling. Step into the movement. Step into your power. The universe has chosen you. Answer the call today.